you for listening to the Walt Weekly with your host, Walter Latham Sr., and co-host, Michelle Sweeney McCombs. You can find us at www.thewaltweekly.com. On social media, Instagram, The Walt Weekly, Facebook, The Walt Weekly Podcast, Twitter, Walt Weekly, and Podbean, The Walt Weekly. You can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and other streaming platforms. Please like, follow, and share The Walt Weekly. We celebrate Women's History Month. Today's special guest was born on the island of Dominicana in the Caribbean. She grew up in the Bronx, New York. She studied opera singing in Rome, Italy, and debuted at Carnegie Hall. Please welcome Marie Claire Gerard, also known as MC.
Happy Sunday. My name is Marie Claire Giroux.
Welcome, Mary. MC,
Yes.
how would you like to be addressed? MC or Marie
MC
Claire?
is fine. MC is
MC
fine.
is fine? All right,
Yes.
so going forward, we will pronounce
MC.
MC.
Yes.
All right,
Thank
MC,
you.
I want to welcome you on behalf of the Walt Weekly. We're really privileged, and we are somewhat, how would you say, surprised that we have an opera singer on our show. You have really pushed the boundaries of what we cover and what we try to give back to the community.
Right.
And I'd like to thank you for that.
Absolutely. You're most welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for having me, both of you, Walter and
Yes.
Michelle. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for Women's History Month.
Yes, absolutely.
Appreciate
You're most
that.
welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. So, can you tell us your humble beginnings?
Okay, I was born on the island of Dominica in the Caribbean. It's a little island, approximately about 70,000 people. It's very small. It's between Guadeloupe and Martinique. And my mom moved my brother and I to New York when I was 4 years old. And I grew up in the Bronx, New York. But she brought us back every year to Dominica. So we never lost touch or contact with the island.
Awesome.
Okay. Do you carry dual passports in a situation like that, or?
I do have two passports. I have
Okay.
I'm a U.S. citizen, but I also carry a Dominican passport as well.
Well, I'm surprised you're here with the COVID. Do they have is it? You have an outbreak in
Well,
Dominica.
In Dominica, no, there's
Yeah.
only we haven't had any deaths, but there's only been like 15 outbreaks since this thing started. So
That's great.
kudos to the Prime
That's
Minister
right.
for doing a really good job. But nowhere is
Okay.
really accepting U.S. citizens right now.
I'm trying to say, since
I don't
you've been on
blame
the
him.
show, maybe we can go down to Dominica.
We
And,
are
Right.
we
and
are
try to escape
persona
this.
yeah we are persona
Yeah.
non grata right now.
Oh
Wow.
no!
Wow.
We can't run, we can't hide.
No,
No.
you can't. You can't. There's no
No.
way. No one will take us.
No one will
That's
take
for
us.
sure.
Ain't that something?
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Oh man, what goes around
So
comes around.
exactly. So what inspired you, and how old were you actually when you found your voice and you knew exactly
Well,
what type of music you wanted to do?
I was in my last year of studying archaeology at Brooklyn College, and I was working at Tower Records in New York.
Oh, good
And
old Tower Records. Yeah.
oh my God, I miss the record stores. And
Yes.
one of my coworkers who became to be one of my lifelong best friends, Anna, she was hosting this band from Texas, a blues band, and before that, working at Tower Records, I was exposed to like Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan and Patsy Cline, all these
Yes.
amazing singers.
Right.
And I just started to emulate them, started singing just like them, and learning all these from the Great American Songbook from all these great composers. And Anna says, you have a really great voice and blah, blah, blah. But, she's my friend. So, she's going to say these kind of things.
Right.
I thought, And so on the night that she was hosting this band, she had me get the sheet music of Peggy Lee's Fever, which I learned. And she plied me full of tequila. I got up on stage. She got the band to get me up on stage. I sang Fever. And it's like I breathed for the first time.
Wow.
It's like I was awake for the first time. It's like I saw colors for the first time. It's like that was it. And I could not go back. I
That's
cannot go back
incredible.
to what I was before because singing became music. Singing became my
Hmm.
everything.
Wow. Now, did you grow up with music in the home, or it's just
I
where
mean,
you when you were
no,
working? Like you
no,
never
we
had
always,
that
I mean,
experience?
we always had music. I mean, calypso from the Caribbean,
Right.
soca, reggae. My uncle
Right.
loved music, so we had Earth, Wind, and Fire in the house.
Hmm.
I started studying classical piano at a very young age, so I
Okay.
knew I love music,
Right.
and I thought everybody could sing because I was always put in the choir with all my
Right.
other friends, and I went to Catholic school. So I thought everybody could sing, but I found out
Right.
that's not true either.
Right.
I
Right.
knew the opposite. That's totally the opposite.
and so
Wow.
I discovered that I had this huge voice, and Ella Fitzgerald is still
Yes.
is my favorite singer.
Amazing.
Still is, yes,
Amazing. So,
yes,
you studied opera,
yeah. I went
obviously, in Rome, Italy, and you
in Rome,
debuted
Italy.
right at Carnegie Hall.
Yes.
How exciting and how did you feel about going? I mean, this is Carnegie Hall is like it. How did you
Carnegie
feel?
Hall. I mean, when they say practice, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice,
Right.
and indeed, I was practicing. And
Hmm.
on my return from Rome, I started studying with this amazing bass baritone Raymond Buckingham, and
Hmm.
he knew Vincent LaSalva from the New York Grand Opera Company. He had me audition for him, and I got it. I got in, and we were. He had this concert like 4 times a year at Weil Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall, and
Right.
he put me on the bill, and it was absolutely. I mean, to sing on that stage, and I couldn't stop smiling. I mean, I was smiling so much I got a headache. It-
Yeah. You can hurt your face smiling
yeah,
so much.
exactly. It was.
Yes.
I just felt very, very accomplished, very, very proud, and thinking that everything would be a meteoric rise from there. But that was literally just the beginning.
Right, right, right. I
Yes.
mean, you have so much talent. Like you're able to mix your operatic vocals with
Hmm.
other genres of music, which is exciting. So
Oh my
you're not
God, that
just
is so
opera.
great.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And hard to do. Like most
I
musicians
mean,
can't even do that.
I don't. In my mind, I don't really think anything. I think if you can think about it, if
Hmm.
your mind can perceive it, then you can make it happen.
You can achieve it.
You can achieve it
Yes.
absolutely. So
Right.
when I heard, I grew up in the Bronx, so this grew up around hip hop. Not
Right.
really listening to it, but it was around me
Hmm.
all the time. So it just seemed to be like it just seemed natural to me
Hmm. Right.
to layer my operatic vocals on top of hip hop, and it is
Right.
such an explosive, wonderful thing.
Yes.
It just
Yes.
it just raises the bar,
Right. Exactly.
it,
Exactly.
it's fantastic.
Exactly.
I love doing it.
Hmm.
And it freaks me when I tell people at first, I mix, opera and hip hop. They're like, "What?" But then when they
No.
hear it, they're like, "Oh my god, that's fantastic."
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You don't hear that quite often. You just hear R&B singers mixing with rap. So
Right.
yeah, your voice is just phenomenal. I met you a few years back when
That's right. Yes.
you were
Yes.
rebranding. You were branding yourself, and
Yes.
just followed you from then, and just admire your career and your strength and just the fact that you kept up with it, even during the down times, you were always proactive with your career. You made a name for yourself. You're very active in your community. You give back to the community. Can you tell us a little bit about that with yourself, with young adults?
Well, I like to. There's a couple of schools around where I live, and it's not a huge outreach. It's very small, but I like to show kids that opera singing and classical music, it's not just for the highbrow or for the rich or for white people. It's
Right.
accessible to any and everyone. And so I show them how in the music that they listen to in R&B and in hip hop, classical music is there. So what I
Yes.
do is like I play them a hip hop track, I played for them,
Hmm.
and then I let them know that this is actually a piece of classical music is looped within that. And then I
Right.
take away the hip hop track and I play them the classical piece and they love it.
Awesome.
Wow,
That's
it is awesome.
yeah, that's
And they love it.
amazing.
And it's like you can do this is not just, the media and society, they put all these preconceived notions in our kids' heads, which is absolutely ridiculous. Music
Right.
is music.
Right,
And if it's good
exactly.
music, it's good music.
It's good music.
It shouldn't be one genre of music shouldn't be barred from someone just because of their race or where they grew up. That's ridiculous.
Yes,
It's
that's
open
right.
to it's open to everyone and anyone.
right.
And if you like it, listen to it. If you want to play it, learn it. Anything
Exactly.
is possible.
Right. It's music. It's universal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're also a composer, and you collaborated on a song with Pulitzer Prize-winning composer John Harbison.
Oh my God.
How was that? Can you tell us about
Listen,
that? I know
everything.
that must have been the highlight of your career.
I mean, Michelle, everything in my life has been about, I really believe that I've been destined to do this because I do not come from a family with money or with a family with connections or anything
Right.
like that. So everything is like divinely inspired. God has put
Right.
me on the path of where I should be, where I should go. I listen to him constantly,
Mhm.
and I pray to him constantly. And he always puts me where I need to be.
Right.
And so on this particular day when I met John Harbison, I was at this coffee shop across the street from Juilliard. I was having a lesson at one of the adjoining buildings, and there was a gentleman standing in back of me online. And when your spirit, it just calls out to another person. There's just
Yes.
a vibe there between you and this person.
Right.
And we just started talking. He was like, what are you up to today? I was like, well, I'm rushing to my lesson, but I'm starving. He was like, you know what? I'm rushing. These students are playing my music over there, so I'm going to go over there and hear the rehearsal. But I'm so hungry, I had to get something to eat. I was like, I hear you, me too. And he said, what type of voice? He said, what type of voice are you? I was like, well, at that time, I'm a contralto, which is the lowest female voice, but it's also the rarest of female voices. And he was like, oh my God, there are no contraltos around. He was like, give me your contact, give me your contact number, and give me your website. I'm going to check it out. Then he I didn't know who he was. He gave me his card, then he emails me like a day later. He was like, oh my God, your website is exactly how you are, Mary Claire.
That's faith.
And he said, somebody should write you a song cycle. Then he's like, you know what? I'm going to write you a song. Then the next thing, I'm going to write you a song cycle. And you just write the lyrics.
God.
And John and I have been friends ever since. He's been one of my mentors ever since.
Incredible. That's faith. Yes.
Absolutely.
That's so awesome. So I'm going to let Walter come in now. If you have any questions you'd like to ask her, Walter.
Well, I think she addressed every question that I had.
Sorry.
Because I wanted to ask you about, who are some of the artists that influenced you? And you said you discovered your voice. So, it wasn't one of those things where you look at some of the soprano contraltos within opera. Could you name another contralto that maybe we would know?
Marian Anderson.
Okay. Yes, because it's such a rare voice.
Marian Anderson broke ground, and she was the first Black woman to sing at the Metropolitan Opera House. She broke racial barriers. I mean, she was just incredible. But since that time, it seems like I am not a contralto. I'm a lyrical spinto soprano.
Whoa!
And
could you repeat that?
Voice, I am a lyrical spinto soprano, which means that even though I have all these high notes, I have great depth and warmth in my voice, which can make it confusing to people, which makes them think that I have a lower voice than I have.
You got a tremendous range then. Wow.
Yes.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes. Now, what about Leontine Price?
Oh my God, Leontine.
Yes. Correction. Yes.
Leontine Price is like, I mean, I get chills. She is just the best.
Yes.
I mean, when you think of, Valhalla and Olympus, she's right up there with the gods.
Yes. Yes. That's what I wanted to ask. Yeah, of course.
She is a
Beautiful.
diva in every sense of the word. I mean, not like the way the word diva has been so watered down now. I mean, she's just
Right.
truest sense of that word, a voice that is so just gorgeous. I mean,
Powerful.
when she made her debut at the Met, the next day, the New York Times, she was on the front page of the New York Times, and they said, and I quote, Leontine Price's voice is like the flag unfurling in the wind. It's just
Wow.
waving there,
Yeah.
you know, in
Yeah.
just
Incredible
gorgeousness. Yes,
voice. Yes. Beautiful woman.
yes.
Beautiful woman.
I
Okay.
can't get in here.
You received some awards. Are you still affiliated? First, are you still affiliated with the UN as far as
Yes.
the Project for Children?
Yes, I'm still affiliated with the UN. I have not been in well, since the COVID thing. I have not been in contact with them. But yes, I'm still. Yeah. I would still do things with the UN, of course, and anything for children. Absolutely.
And I see where you were recognized by the NAACP, the City of New
Yes.
York, and New
Yes.
York State
Yes.
Senate. Oh,
Yes.
that's
Amazing.
awesome.
Yes. Beautiful
Yeah, you're
career.
giving back.
I really believe in giving back. I think that's truly important because no one, whether you're an artist or you're a business person or whatever you strive to do in this world, no one does it alone. You can't do it by yourself. Especially if you want to do
That's
something
right.
like entertainment or Michelle and hair, any
Right.
sort of anything in entertainment. You there's no way you can
You
do it
need a
alone.
team.
It's too hard.
It's too hard. Can't do it by
Yeah,
yourself.
you can't do it alone. So you always need those people that are gonna encourage you, uplift you, support you, and give you that helping hand in whatever way, shape, or
That's
form
right. Whether or not it's
to
your
propel you
vocal,
forward.
your vocal coach, down to your hair
Right.
stylist, makeup artist. Just
Exactly.
yes,
Yes.
definitely,
Yes.
definitely. I totally agree with that. Yep.
All right.
Everybody creates the team. You need a team. Like it takes a village to create raise a child.
That's
It takes a
right.
village
It
to be an
definitely
artist.
is. Yeah, it does. It does. It
Yes.
does.
Very true.
And faith.
Very true.
Faith.
And faith. Oh my God, you cannot,
That's right.
that word faith, during this whole pandemic thing, nothing has struck me more than that saying, it's not in our time, but it's in God's time. We all have our
Right.
time. We all have our
Yes.
time. And we as human beings, and me included, I'm guilty of this. We're very anxious. We want this now. This is
Right.
how we want to get it. We never know how it's going to happen, right? And we never know
That's
when it's
right.
going to happen. But what can we do? We can get up every day. We can pray. We can give
Right.
thanks. We can study.
That's
We can
right. Hmm.
prepare. So that when those
That's right.
opportunities come, we're ready for it.
Yes. Yes.
Because I feel that God gives all of us talents and gifts, but God needs help too. He can't do everything.
No.
We have to prepare. We have to prepare ourselves and be ready for when He says, "Okay, now's the time."
Now's your
There you go.
time. And you better be
Yes,
ready. That's
that's
right.
right.
You better be ready. So what do you have coming up? I know how has COVID actually impacted you?
Oh,
I know you've performed in small venues, during
yes,
COVID when it
yes.
resurfaced, but how have you been maintaining?
I've been maintaining. Well, thank God I'm able to collect unemployment, which is a blessing. Thank God for that.
Right.
But I've been doing performances. Actually, one of my performances is resuming today at Dante's on McDougal Street. I'm there every Sunday starting today
Oh, awesome.
from
Oh, okay.
4 to 7 every Sunday
And that's
starting
in the
today.
city?
Yeah, that's on Dante's at McDougal Street on McDougal Street.
Or McDougal,
Okay.
yeah. I know
Yes.
where that is.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes, and so me and my guitarist, Greg, we do jazz standards for those 3 hours, and it's so much fun,
Oh,
just to be with the
we'll
public
definitely have
and
to come and
Yeah,
see
you got to
that.
try to
Yeah.
make that, Michelle.
yeah,
Yes,
I live so far
definitely. I
from the
didn't know.
city.
Like,
Yeah, so
right,
Michelle
I'm not
does that
too
legwork for
far.
me if possible.
Yes,
yeah.
Walter's in the sticks. He's in the
Yeah, I'm
sticks.
way out here.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
yeah. So I rely on
Definitely.
and our younger legs too. So
So,
yeah.
is this a long-term residency you have there,
It's
or
a
is it
long
just
term. It's a long term
awesome?
residency that they stopped it. When the city was on lockdown, they
Right,
stopped all indoor
right.
dining. But now that we're
Hmm.
open back up again, they called me and they want me back. And
That's
so
great.
yeah, so we're starting back today, Greg and I, and we're going to be there every Sunday.
Awesome. I'm
Excellent.
definitely going to come out and
Excellent.
see you. I'll definitely come
And
out and see you.
and I wrote a musical during COVID. I wrote a musical
Really?
entitled Charcoal.
You
Uh-huh.
see, yeah, absolutely. That's what you got to do. We have been encouraging
You
all our
reinventing.
people to
Right.
reinvent yourself or pick something that you're not that, that you've never done
Right.
and do it.
Right.
And
And
do
do it.
it.
And do it.
Because
Can you
now,
elaborate a little bit on that?
absolutely. So Charcoal is a song that I wrote. Oh my God, Charcoal is a song I wrote a very long time ago. And I always knew that it was something that could be more. What
Mm-hmm.
exactly more was, I had no idea. But a few months ago, I was with my teacher, and we were in class with some of his other students, and I was having a very difficult time doing a passage of music vocally. And, you know, I could not understand why I could not do this. And I realized that my traumas, even though I had dealt with them, I had only dealt with them on an extremely superficial level. And
Right.
I realized that unless I dealt with these things that were blocking me, I could
Mm-hmm.
not move forward. So I reached out to a few friends of mine. And one friend in particular in London introduced me to her therapist. And since I started working with Kenny, it's like you have a block, you know something is wrong, but you don't
Right.
know what to do. You don't know how to get
Mm.
around it. You don't. And Kenny enabled me. He gave me the tools to unlock the doors that had me locked.
Wow.
And since that happened, my creativity has it's been like a waterfall, an
That's
avalanche.
great. Yeah.
And so Charcoal is about this baby girl that is born into a coastal African village,
Mm-hmm.
albino, in
Oh.
six in
Okay.
1619 at the dawn of slavery.
Oh. Wow.
Her family, her tribe, um, want to discard her, throw her away, because anything seen as different is a
Right.
deformity, and anything that is other is not looked on as a positive, is looked on as a negative. So then, before they can discard her, the priestess from outside comes in and says that no, don't discard her. I will raise her. I will love her. I will teach her of the ways of the spirit world, of the ancestors, of the spells, of the magic, of everything that exists in nature. And so, to
Wow.
make a long story short, while she was collecting herbs one day, jumped 20 years, she's now 18 years old. She gets captured by slavers.
Ah.
Without them seeing her, she gets captured. So at the Virginia slave block, when they finally see her, they're like, "How are we going to explain her to anyone?" You know.
Right.
So
Right.
there's charcoal ash at her feet, and so they start to mix charcoal ash with oil. And as they put the oil mixed with charcoal on her skin, she starts to chant. And as she chants, the charcoal becomes her skin color,
Oh. Wow. How
and she
incredible is
stays
that?
and she stays that color forever.
Wow. Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
and she doesn't grow old either. She stays like
Amazing.
that, preserved like that. And that's what I'm going to
Wow.
sing.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So what platform do you plan on bringing that out on?
Oh, it's gotten a lot of interest. Even some high level producers in Hollywood wanna back
Amazing.
it, and right now it's with my editor that's making the final revisions of it, and I'm going into the
Right.
studio next week to do some demos of the songs, because it's a
Awesome.
musical, and so hopefully to mount it on Broadway or some theater by the fall, if we're still opening up. Yeah.
Right. So, okay, you have the quote unquote Hollywood, right? So, Hollywood
Yes.
likes to make things when it comes to the Black community, they like
Mhm.
to change things the way they see fit for us. Do you have full creative control on your project?
Well, I wrote it. It's
Mm-hmm.
already copyrighted I already had
Awesome.
it copywritten by the Library of
Great.
Congress. So charcoal is mine.
Awesome.
And I feel that the way the landscape is regarding our people,
Right.
regarding like when you see projects such as Jesus and the Black, is it Judas and the Black Messiah?
Judas and the Black
You
Right.
Messiah.
know,
Right.
Mhm.
right? Harriet. when you see Billie Holiday versus the United States, when you see all
Right.
of these things coming out, all of the television programs that are on now, I mean,
Right.
I feel that charcoal is going to be just fine.
Awesome. Great. I
Yeah.
hate to see that because, Madam C.J. Walker when that came out, there was a lot of fictional stuff that they added into it. So,
Okay. Was that the one on
yes.
Netflix?
Yes. Self-made.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the great-great-granddaughter interviewed, and she was stipulating that she didn't have creative control. She was just allowed to read the script, and then she didn't see the final script. And when they made the changes, a lot of it was fictional.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I asked that question. I just wanted to see if you, had input and, actually you own it and everything, but the development of bringing it to Hollywood, how much of are you going to have your hands in that part of it?
Well, I want to be with it in every step.
Great. Awesome. Because I
Yes.
hate when they tell our stories and then they want to change it to what they think it should be. So awesome.
No, and
Congratulations.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Yes.
It's going to be fantastic.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah.
I can't wait for that. How long how long do you foresee it for the future? Like, do you see it coming in the next year or two?
No, I think
5 years?
by the fall, charcoal is done.
Amazing.
This is done, and it
Awesome.
took me about 2 weeks to write this down. It was in my head,
Great.
fully
Wow.
formed and just ready. And we're just
it.
working on the music and putting it into a play musical format, and yeah, it's good to go.
So being that, we have this COVID stuff going on, things probably won't be in full force for a while. Do you think that it'll be on Broadway or some virtual format?
I think I think that depending on what happens with Broadway and COVID, it might be a movie.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's great.
For Netflix? You're gonna go for Netflix?
I'm gonna go with whoever is willing to have charcoal be its truest form.
Okay.
I think now is the time. I mean, we have a lot of stuff coming out about our histories, and just have to take advantage of it. And Hollywood is opening up; they have no choice. People want to hear. We want to hear our stories.
Exactly. And there are enough of us with money, with studios, with this and the other that
there you go.
Our stories can be heard.
And congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
I do want to mention this critique that you received from the Huffington Post. They say, and I quote, "With her unique voice, shook my world when I heard her." And this is a reporter from the Huffington Post that critiqued one of your shows on Broadway. And that's amazing. But someone to say that you shook their world, man, that's just an amazing thing.
Yes, it wasn't on Broadway. It was actually probably at Joe's Pub where I perform every year. Yes.
Yeah, and it's the Huffington Post, and for them to say that, that transcends a lot of places, regardless of where you were.
Right.
Just for them to even publish something, to that effect about you.
Yeah. And Joe's Pub that's a famous place also. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
That's awesome.
I never heard of Joe's Pub. Where is that?
Really?
It's at the Public Theater. It's with the Public Theater downtown on Lafayette and Astor Place down there.
Right. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I got my editing cut out for me on this little songstress.
There you go.
Okay. All right. I think that's my North Carolina accent coming out, I think.
That's okay. That is okay.
Appreciate that. We get it.
I digress. I digress. I had to put that in there because that's amazing that you can affect someone like that, especially a critic. So that's amazing.
So I know you're on a short time frame. I believe we covered everything, but if you want to add something right now, feel more than welcome to add some more because you have to get yourself together to leave out. You can edit that out, Walter.
I think I would like to add to young people, especially Black children and children of color, brown children, that any dream is possible. That if you have a dream, don't let it go for anyone. Pursue your dream, study, work hard. There are no shortcuts. Don't take the shortcuts because you only have to go back and redo the work probably twice as hard.
Right.
Do the work. And just keep moving forward. Mistakes are not a bad thing. They're a good thing because with mistakes, we learn. So make your mistakes, fall down, pick yourself up again, study hard, and never give up on your dream, ever.
Amazing. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.